Tenure and independence of judges of the Supreme Court. Judges of the Supreme Court of India enjoy security of tenure and strong constitutional safeguards to ensure their independence and impartiality, which are essential for the rule of law. Tenure of judges. A judge of the Supreme Court holds office until the age of 65 years. A judge may vacate office earlier only in the following ways: resignation by writing to the President of India, or removal, impeachment, by Parliament on the grounds of proved misbehaviour or incapacity under Article 124(4). The difficult removal procedure ensures that judges are not removed arbitrarily. Independence of judges. The Constitution guarantees judicial independence through several provisions. Security of tenure. Security of tenure means that judges of the Supreme Court of India hold office in a stable and protected manner, free from fear of arbitrary removal. Under the Constitution, a Supreme Court judge remains in office until the age of 65 years and cannot be removed before that except through a strict impeachment process provided under Article 124(4). A judge can be removed only on the grounds of proved misbehaviour or incapacity, and only after a motion is passed in both Houses of Parliament by a special majority of total membership and 2/3 of members present and voting, followed by an order of the President. No executive authority can remove a judge on its own. This strict procedure ensures that judges are not influenced by political pressure or the executive while delivering judgments. Security of tenure is a cornerstone of judicial independence. It enables judges to perform their constitutional duties fearlessly, impartially, and independently, thereby upholding the rule of law and constitutional democracy in India. The fixed salaries and service conditions of judges of the Supreme Court of India are an important safeguard to ensure judicial independence. The Constitution provides that the salaries, allowances, and pensions of Supreme Court judges are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India, which means they are not subject to annual voting by Parliament. This protects judges from financial pressure or political influence. Once appointed, a judge's salary and service conditions cannot be reduced to their disadvantage during their term of office, except during a financial emergency. This constitutional protection ensures stability and dignity of office, allowing judges to decide cases without fear of punishment or loss of benefits. The service conditions of judges, such as leave, pension, and other benefits, are fixed by law and cannot be altered arbitrarily. These guarantees help maintain the status, independence, and impartiality of the judiciary. Fixed salaries and protected service conditions ensure that Supreme Court judges remain financially secure and independent, enabling them to uphold the rule of law, constitutional supremacy, and justice without external influence. Judges are appointed through the collegium system, limiting executive interference. Judges of the Supreme Court of India are appointed under Article 124 of the Constitution. Although the President of India formally appoints judges, in practice the appointments are made through the collegium system. Under the collegium system, appointments are recommended by the Chief Justice of India, CJI, along with the 4 seniormost judges of the Supreme Court. This system was evolved by the Supreme Court through the 2nd and 3rd judges' cases to ensure that the executive does not dominate judicial appointments. The role of the government is limited, and if the collegium reiterates its recommendation, it becomes binding. This process ensures that judges are selected based on merit, integrity, and competence, rather than political considerations. The independent appointment process protects the judiciary from executive interference, strengthens judicial independence, and enables judges to perform their duties without fear or favor, thereby upholding the rule of law and constitutional values. Judges are not answerable for their judicial decisions. Immunity for judicial acts is an important safeguard to ensure the independence of the judiciary. Judges of the Supreme Court of India are not personally liable for acts done or decisions taken by them in the course of their judicial duties. This means that no civil or criminal proceedings can be initiated against a judge for judgments delivered in good faith while performing judicial functions. This immunity allows judges to decide cases freely, impartially, and without fear of personal consequences. Even if a judgment is later found to be incorrect, a judge cannot be sued or prosecuted for it, as long as the act was done in a judicial capacity. However, this immunity does not protect judges from impeachment. If a judge is guilty of proved misbehavior or incapacity, removal can take place through the constitutional impeachment process under Article 124(4). Immunity for judicial acts protects judges from harassment and undue pressure, enabling them to uphold justice, fairness, and the rule of law. It is a vital pillar of judicial independence and ensures that judges can perform their duties without fear or favor. Contempt powers. As a court of record, the Supreme Court can punish for contempt to protect its authority. The Supreme Court of India has the power to punish for contempt of court under Article 129 of the Constitution, as it is declared a court of record. This power is essential to protect the authority, dignity, and effective functioning of the judiciary. Meaning of contempt. Contempt of court refers to any act or omission that disobeys court orders, interferes with the administration of justice, or lowers the authority of the court. Types of contempt. Civil contempt, willful disobedience of a judgment, decree, or order of the court, or breach of an undertaking given to the court. Criminal contempt, acts that scandalize the court, prejudice judicial proceedings, or obstruct the administration of justice. Contempt powers. As a court of record, the Supreme Court can punish for contempt to protect its authority. The Supreme Court of India has the power to punish for contempt of court under Article 129 of the Constitution, as it is declared a court of record. This power is essential to protect the authority, dignity, and effective functioning of the judiciary. Meaning of contempt. Contempt of court refers to any act or omission that disobeys court orders, interferes with the administration of justice, or lowers the authority of the court. Types of contempt. Civil contempt, willful disobedience of a judgment, decree, or order of the court, or breach of an undertaking given to the court. Criminal contempt, acts that scandalize the court, prejudice judicial proceedings, or obstruct the administration of justice. The Supreme Court can impose punishment, including fine or imprisonment, to ensure compliance with its orders and to prevent obstruction of justice. However, this power is exercised sparingly and cautiously, keeping in mind freedom of speech and fair criticism of judicial decisions. The contempt powers of the Supreme Court are a vital tool to maintain judicial authority and public confidence in the justice system. By ensuring respect for court orders and proceedings, these powers uphold the rule of law and support the independence of the judiciary. Prohibition on practice after retirement. A retired Supreme Court judge cannot practice before any court or authority in India, ensuring impartiality. To preserve judicial independence and impartiality, the Constitution imposes a prohibition on practice after retirement on judges of the Supreme Court of India. A retired Supreme Court judge cannot practice law before any court or authority in India. This restriction ensures that judges do not decide cases with an eye on future professional benefits or appearances. The purpose of this prohibition is to prevent any conflict of interest, maintain public confidence in the judiciary, and ensure that judicial decisions are made without fear or favor. While retired judges may be appointed to certain constitutional or statutory positions, such as commissions or tribunals, if permitted by law, they are barred from resuming advocacy. The prohibition on practice after retirement strengthens judicial integrity by eliminating post-retirement inducements, thereby reinforcing the independence, dignity, and credibility of the Supreme Court and the rule of law. Conclusion. The Supreme Court of India enjoys strong constitutional safeguards to ensure the tenure and independence of its judges, which are essential for a fair and impartial justice system. Provisions such as security of tenure, fixed salaries and service conditions, an independent appointment process, immunity for judicial acts, contempt powers, and prohibition on practice after retirement collectively protect judges from external pressure and undue influence. These safeguards enable judges to perform their constitutional duties fearlessly and independently, without concern for political, financial, or personal consequences. By ensuring independence along with accountability through impeachment, The Constitution maintains a careful balance between judicial freedom and responsibility. In conclusion, the tenure and independence of Supreme Court judges form the backbone of the Indian judiciary, upholding the rule of law, protection of fundamental rights, and constitutional supremacy, and strengthening the foundations of Indian constitutional democracy.